Good morning, my dear friend. As the first light of day stretches quietly across the horizon, painting the sky in soft strokes of amber and gold, I welcome you to this sacred hour, the stillness of early morning, when the world holds its breath and the soul leans in to listen. It is not just the beginning of a new day, but the beginning of a conversation that heaven is ready to have with your heart. Before the noise rushes in, before the responsibilities press down, this is your time. This is holy ground. Perhaps you are here because sleep has been restless. Your heart has been heavy. Or maybe you woke up today with a weight you cannot name, but feel deeply in your bones. I want to tell you the story of someone very much like you, a woman who sat quietly by her kitchen window one morning, her hands wrapped around a mug of coffee that had long gone cold. Outside, the sun was rising, but inside her heart, shadows lingered. She had just lost someone she loved deeply. And though people around her offered comfort, she could not silence the ache, nor escape the fog of fear about what life would be without them. That morning, she whispered a question she had never dared ask aloud. God, are you still here? It was not shouted. It was not angry. It was soft, tired, and trembling. She did not expect an answer, but what came was not a voice or a miracle. It was a memory of a time long ago when she had been carried through another kind of valley. She remembered how, even in her deepest sorrow then, something had sustained her, something unseen. And in that memory, a seed of trust stirred again. Maybe you have asked that question too. Maybe not with words, but with your silence, your tears, or the way your soul feels too tired to hope. That is why this moment matters. That is why this quiet space has been prepared for you. Because there is a journey waiting for you, not one of easy answers, but one of deeper trust. Not a path paved with perfection, but a walk beside a God who sees every step, even the ones taken in doubt. This is not a journey you will walk alone. As surely as morning follows night, so too does mercy follow pain. So too does light find its way into the darkest corners of our hearts. You may feel broken, forgotten, too lost to begin again. But I am here to remind you nothing in your life is too far gone for God to restore. No pain is wasted. No silence is empty. There is meaning even in the waiting. There is beauty in what you cannot yet see. And there is power, real power, in your decision to open your heart today. Right now, and let yourself be drawn closer to the one who made you. Faith does not always begin with certainty. Sometimes, it begins with a whisper, a single moment of choosing to believe that God is still working, even when the pieces do not make sense. And prayer is the bridge that carries that whisper upward. It is not a performance. It is not a formula. It is an honest, sacred exchange between your weary heart and the one who understands every word before it is even spoken. So I invite you now, not to recite but to receive, not to strive but to surrender. Let this be the moment you breathe deeply and begin again. Let this be the morning you step into conversation with the God who sees you, who hears you, who walks with you even when the path is hidden. This is your time. This is your morning. Let the journey begin. Dear Heavenly Father, this morning I come to you from a place that feels hollow and uncertain. The sky is slowly waking outside, but inside me, it still feels like night. The silence around me is not peaceful today. It echoes with questions I do not know how to answer. I do not even know what I am asking for, except for you. I do not need complicated answers. I just need to know that you are still near. I woke up with the weight of everything I cannot fix pressing against my chest. And though I try to gather my thoughts and offer you something coherent, all I can bring is the ache in my soul and the trembling in my heart. This is where I am, and I give you that. I am not trying to sound strong. You already know how tired I am. You know the doubts I carry, even the ones I try to bury beneath routine and smiles. You see when I pretend I am okay. You see the moments when my prayers feel more like sighs. So I will not pretend this morning. I will not wrap my words in spiritual phrases. I will simply talk to you the way a child speaks in the dark, hoping someone is listening. I do not understand everything that is happening in my life. Some things feel out of place. Some doors that once opened easily now remain shut, no matter how hard I knock. There are days when I feel like I am losing my grip, like I am standing on a path that keeps shifting beneath me. I do not know where this road is going, but I need to believe you are on it with me. I need to believe that even in this confusion, I am not alone. You say that you are close to the brokenhearted. I am holding on to that promise this morning because my heart feels fragile. Not shattered, maybe, but cracked in places I did not expect. I am trying to keep walking, but some days it feels like I am only going through motions. I long for peace, but it keeps slipping through my fingers. I long for direction, but I keep meeting silence. Still, I come to you because I know even silence has meaning when it comes from you. I cannot tell what you are doing right now. Maybe nothing is changing around me yet, but I want something to change within me. I want my heart to soften where it has grown hard. I want my trust to rise where fear has taken hold. I want to let go of everything I was never meant to carry and make room for whatever you are placing in front of me. I do not have to understand it all. I just want to be able to breathe again without wondering if I am failing you. I know you are not waiting for me to be perfect. I know you do not love me less because I am unsure. I know you do not walk away when I hesitate. That truth matters more to me than anything else right now. I need to know that even if I do not feel brave, even if I do not sound strong, I still belong to you. I need to remember that even faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. So I bring you this small offering today. This little flicker of belief, this whisper of hope that somehow you are still working. I do not need you to explain everything to me. I just need you to stay close. I do not need you to solve every problem this morning. I just need you to remind me that you see me, that you hear the things I cannot say out loud, that you understand the pain I struggle to name. I am not asking for a miracle, but I will not turn one away either. I am just asking for you, for your nearness, for your presence to meet me here in the middle of everything. I do not know. I have tried to be strong for so long. I have tried to be steady when everything inside of me feels like it is unraveling. But I think you are inviting me to something different now. Not strength that looks like control, but surrender. Not a polished faith that always has the right words, but a real one that leans on you without shame. That is what I want today. I want to stop pretending I know the way and start resting in the fact that you do. If all I do today is cry out to you, let that be enough. If all I have is this moment with you, let it be sacred. I believe you meet us in our beginning places, not just our finished ones. I believe you sit with us in confusion and wait with us in the in-between. So here I am, waiting, not passively, but hopefully. I do not know what this day holds. I do not know what the next step will be, but I am choosing to believe that whatever it is, I will not face it alone. This morning, let me not run ahead of you. Let me not try to force clarity where you are asking me to trust. Let me walk slowly, eyes wide open, heart held in your hands. Let me learn how to live in the tension between not knowing and still believing. I know the sun will rise, even when clouds hide it. I know you will guide me, even when I cannot see the path. So I offer you this first breath of the day. I offer you the pieces I cannot hold together. I offer you my fear, my doubt, my longing. I offer you my whole heart, even the messy parts. Meet me here, God, not in a place of performance, but in a place of real, fragile trust. Teach me how to begin again, not with answers, but with surrender. Let this be the morning where faith rises in the middle of all that is still unfinished. Let this be the place where I remember that even in the shadows, you are near. You always have been. You always will be. Father, as I continue to come before you this morning, my heart still carries the weight of the unknown, the heaviness of unanswered questions, and the quiet ache of waiting. Yet in this moment, I find myself willing to lay down the mask of strength I have worn so long and speak to you with the honesty of my soul. There is a freedom in simply crying out, in surrendering my silence and allowing my words imperfect and raw to rise before you. It is a vulnerability I have feared, but now I choose it because you have never turned away from the broken-hearted. Lord, sometimes the pain inside me is too much to carry alone. It clutches at my chest like a relentless storm, and the tears come unbidden. Today, I bring those tears to you not hidden, not ashamed, but open and real. I do not have to compose a prayer that sounds perfect or measured. What I offer is my truth, my deepest fears, my silent screams that no one else hears. You see them all. Father, you know every unspoken word and every shadow that lingers in my heart. It is difficult to admit how much I hurt, how much I feel lost at times. I wrestle with feelings of abandonment and wonder if you are truly near when the world feels so distant. But even in this wrestling, I know you are here, holding me closer than I can imagine. You are not offended by my tears or my questions. Instead, you invite me to pour out my soul like water, to come boldly and tell you everything that weighs on me. So today, I am stepping into that invitation. God, you have never asked me to be strong on my own. You have not demanded that I hold it together while everything inside is breaking. Your grace meets me right where I am in my confusion, in my brokenness, in my desperation. Help me to believe this with all my heart. Help me to stop hiding my struggles behind a facade of faith and instead bring them honestly to your feet. Because I am tired of pretending. I am weary of the battle within that I face alone. This morning, I speak to you about the fears that haunt my nights and shadow my days, the fear of failure, the fear of the future, the fear of being forgotten. These fears press hard against my soul, trying to steal my peace. Yet I choose to declare that you are greater than every fear. You are the refuge I run to when the world feels overwhelming. Your presence is my shelter in the storm, and though the waves crash around me, I will not be swallowed because you hold me firmly in your hands. Lord, there are moments when my heart feels like a dry desert, cracked and thirsty for hope. I come to you today thirsty for your living water, for the hope that only you can provide. I long to be refreshed, to be restored, to feel your healing touch on the parts of me that feel parched and empty. Let your spirit flow through me now, filling every hollow place, every space where doubt has taken root. Let your love flood my soul so completely that fear has no room to linger. Father, I do not always have the words to express the depth of my need. Sometimes, my prayer is nothing more than a trembling breath, a whispered plea, a tearful sigh. And yet, I know you hear it all. Your ears are attuned to the cries of your children, and your heart beats with compassion for each one who comes to you in pain. You are the God who heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. You are the God who turns mourning into dancing and despair into hope. So here I am, Lord, broken, weary, but reaching out. I come to you not because I have it all together, because I know you have what I need. You are the healer of my soul, the restorer of my joy, the anchor of my faith. I surrender my fears and doubts to you now. I place my burdens in your hands, trusting that you will carry them when I cannot. Teach me to lean on you more deeply each day, to find strength not in my own abilities, but in your unwavering love. God, I thank you for the gift of this moment, the chance to be completely honest with you without fear of judgment. Thank you for meeting me where I am and for loving me just as I am, even when I cannot see the way forward, even when the path is shrouded in uncertainty. I choose to believe that your plans for me are good. I choose to believe that you are working behind the scenes, weaving every broken piece into a beautiful tapestry that I cannot yet understand. As I cry out to you this morning, I am reminded that prayer is not about having all the answers or presenting perfect words. It is about connection heart to heart, soul to soul with the one who knows me better than I know myself. It is about trusting that even in my weakness, your strength is made perfect. It is about holding on to hope when everything inside wants to give up. Father, I invite you now to hear every silent tear, every whispered fear, every broken plea that I could not say aloud before. I ask you to receive my prayer with tenderness and grace. Let it rise like incense before your throne, a fragrant offering of a heart laid bare. and in return, pour out your peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, into the depths of my being. Thank you, Lord, for being my refuge and strength. Thank you for never turning away from me, no matter how lost or broken I feel. I place my trust in you today, knowing that you are faithful and true. Help me to rest in that truth, to hold on to it tightly as I navigate the uncertainties ahead. In this moment of honest prayer, I choose to step away from fear and into faith. I choose to cry out without shame, to be vulnerable without hesitation. I choose to believe that your love covers all my doubts, and that your grace is enough for every need. So I continue this journey with you, Lord, trusting that you are leading me gently toward healing, hope, and new beginnings. I open my heart to receive your presence, your comfort, and your guidance. And even though I do not know what tomorrow holds, I rest in the certainty that you do, and that is enough. Lord, as I move forward in this moment of prayer, my heart clings to the gentle thread of memory that weaves through my life like a quiet river beneath the surface. After laying down the rawness of my cries and the weight of my fears, I find myself reaching for the truth that even when I could not see you, you were always there, walking beside me with a steady and unseen step. It is this unseen presence that has carried me through seasons I now look back on with a mixture of awe and gratitude. God, I do not always remember to acknowledge the ways you have moved in the past. Sometimes the days have been so heavy and the struggles so overwhelming that my focus has been pulled entirely to what is in front of me, the challenges, the unknowns, the pain. But now, in this quiet hour, I pause to reflect on the footprints you have left behind me, marks of your faithfulness, even in the moments when I could not recognize it. You have guided my steps even when the path was dark. You have held me steady when I felt like I was falling apart. I remember times when I was desperate for help, and help came in unexpected ways. I recall the people you sent, those friends, strangers, or even moments of silence and clarity that became lifelines. I remember the answers that came when I least expected, the doors that opened after long waiting, and the moments when peace arrived like a gentle rain after a storm. These are the reminders of your grace, the evidence of your care, even when I could not hear your voice clearly. Father, these memories fuel a flicker of hope in my soul. They remind me that my story is not just about struggle, but about the unfolding of a greater plan that only you can see in its fullness. It is easy to feel lost when I am caught in the middle of a trial, but looking back helps me see that every step has been purposeful. Even when I did not understand, your hand has been weaving a tapestry that is far more beautiful and intricate than my limited vision allows me to grasp. Lord, thank you for the many ways you have been present before I knew how to look for you. Thank you for the unseen miracles, the quiet interventions, the gentle nudges that have kept me on track. I confess that I have often overlooked your faithfulness because I was too focused on what was missing or broken. Forgive me for the times I doubted your presence or your love. Help me to cultivate a heart that remembers and rejoices in your goodness, even amid uncertainty. God, as I reflect on these unseen footprints, I find courage to face the unknown days ahead. If you have brought me through every difficulty so far, I can trust you to carry me through what I cannot yet see. Your past faithfulness is a promise for the future. Your history with me is a foundation that will not fail. I choose to build my trust on this firm rock, rather than the shifting sands of my circumstances. I also recognize that these memories are not just for comfort, but for strength. They remind me that I am part of a story larger than myself. A story where you are always the faithful author. When I am tempted to lose heart or believe that I am forgotten, I will turn to these footprints and find reassurance. You have not left me. You have been quietly guiding, protecting, and loving me every step of the way. Lord, teach me to live in the awareness of your constant presence, not just in moments of clarity, but in the midst of confusion. Help me to open my eyes to see your hand at work in the small, everyday moments as well as in the big, life-changing events. May my heart be tuned to recognize your voice when you speak, even softly, through circumstances, people, or quiet whispers in my spirit. God, I ask for the faith to hold on to these truths, even when my current reality challenges them. When the shadows grow long and the path ahead seems uncertain, may I remember the journey I have already traveled with you. May these memories become a shield against despair and a wellspring of hope. Let them remind me that you are not only with me now, but have been with me all along. Thank you, Lord, for being the faithful companion who never leaves or forsakes. Thank you for your patience with my doubts and your kindness in my weakness. I choose to rest in the knowledge that your love has carried me through every storm, and it will continue to carry me until I reach the place you have prepared. So I continue to walk forward, step by step, trusting in your unseen footprints beneath my feet, knowing that no matter how dark the path may seem, you have already gone before me. You have prepared the way, and you will lead me home. Father, as I carry the memories of your faithfulness in my heart, a new truth rises up alongside them, the weight of waiting, the heavy burden of delay. I find myself wrestling with the silence that lingers longer than I would hope, with the unanswered prayers that echo in the quiet corners of my soul. The delay presses down on me, and sometimes it feels almost unbearable. Yet, I bring this weight to you, knowing that you understand the pain of waiting better than anyone else ever could. Lord, the pause between what I hope for and what I see can feel like an eternity. The waiting stretches out before me like an unending desert, hot and unforgiving. Each day that passes without the breakthrough, I long for chips away at my patience. I confess that at times I feel weary, and my faith falters under the strain. I wonder if you have forgotten me, or if my prayers are too small to be heard. But even in these moments, I choose to bring my doubts to you instead of hiding them away. God, I acknowledge that waiting is harder than I imagined it would be. The uncertainty that comes with delay breeds fear and discouragement. I find myself questioning if the promise will ever come, if the path will ever clear, if the healing will ever arrive. It is in these seasons that I am tempted to give up, to move ahead on my own strength, to try to force the answers I crave. But I know that rushing ahead without your timing is not the answer. So I bring my restless heart to you, asking for the grace to wait well. Lord, teach me how to bear the weight of delay without losing hope. Help me to understand that delay is not denial and silence is not absence. There is a purpose in this waiting, a refining fire that I cannot yet see. While the world measures time in moments and days, you measure it in perfect timing. Ordained before the foundations of the earth, remind me that your timing is never late and never imperfect. Every delay is a thread woven into the greater tapestry of my life, held firmly in your hands. Father, I am grateful that you do not abandon your children in their waiting. You are near to those who wait on you, and you strengthen the weary. I hold on to your promise that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. I want to soar in this season of waiting. I want to run the race you have set before me without growing tired or discouraged. God, in the silence of delay, help me to listen more closely to your voice. When answers are slow to come, may I find comfort in your presence. Teach me to trust not only in the promise, but also in the process. Help me to see this season as one of preparation, where you are shaping my heart, deepening my character, and building my endurance. Remind me that every great story of faith involves waiting not as a punishment, but as a crucial part of the journey. Lord, when impatience threatens to consume me, help me to be patient with myself. Help me to rest in the truth that you are working even when I cannot see it, even when days feel long and progress seems absent. You are still moving. You are still arranging the details of my life for good. Let this truth be my anchor in the storm of waiting. Father, I surrender the timelines I have set for my life and place them in your hands. I give you my plans, my hopes, and my dreams, trusting that you know what is best. Let me find peace not in the speed of answers, but in the certainty of your love and faithfulness. Let my heart be still, knowing that you hold the future and that nothing can happen outside of your perfect will. God, I pray for those who feel overwhelmed by waiting today, for those whose hearts ache with unanswered prayers and whose spirits grow weary in the silence. May they find solace in your promises. May they be reminded that you have a plan, and your plans are always for good. May they experience your peace that passes all understanding, guarding their hearts and minds through this time of waiting. Lord, even as I carry this heavy weight, I choose to trust you. I choose to believe that your delays are not denials, but divine pauses that lead to greater blessings. I choose to hold on to hope when the night feels long and the dawn seems distant. I choose to keep my eyes on you, the author and perfecter of my faith, knowing that you will complete the work you have begun in me. So I stand in this space of waiting with a heart open to your timing. I choose patience over despair, trust over fear, and faith over frustration. Help me to live this day with a spirit of hope, knowing that the best is yet to come and that your promises are sure. In your presence, I find the strength to wait well and the courage to keep believing. Thank you, Father, for never leaving me in the silence. Thank you for being the God who works even when I cannot see. Thank you for carrying me through the weight of delay and leading me into the fullness of your purpose. I trust in you, Lord, with all my heart, God, as I carry the heaviness of waiting and the memories of your faithful footsteps. My heart still wrestles with a question that lingers deep within. Where are you, God? This question rises not from doubt alone, but from the rawness of feeling distant, from the ache of longing for your presence when everything inside me feels empty. It is a question born of loneliness, not rebellion, a cry that echoes quietly in the chambers of my soul when the noise of life fades and I am left with my own fears. Lord, I know you are near, yet sometimes your nearness feels hidden behind a veil I cannot lift. The silence can be deafening, and I am left reaching for something intangible. It is in these moments that I feel exposed, vulnerable, and afraid. I want to believe in your presence with all my heart, but my senses seem to betray me. I cannot see you with my eyes, hear you with my ears, or grasp you with my hands. I stand here in the stillness and ask, are you really here? Do you hear my cries? Father, I bring this doubt before you not to accuse, but to be honest. I am tired of pretending that I always feel your closeness. Sometimes, the faith I profess feels more like a fragile hope than a solid rock. And yet, even in this questioning, I choose to lean into you, to hold on to the promise that you have not forsaken me. You are the God who hides in the whisper, the God who moves in the quiet moments when I least expect it. Help me to find you in the spaces where I least expect you, God, when the storm rages and the earth shakes beneath my feet. When the questions pile up and the answers seem distant, remind me that you are still the steady anchor in the chaos. You are not silent. You are working in ways I cannot see. Your timing is perfect even when it feels delayed. Your love is constant even when it feels concealed. Lord, in my moments of despair, when I feel like I am crying out into an empty void, help me to remember the stories of those who walked similar paths before me. Help me to recall the faith of those who endured seasons of silence, yet never lost sight of your faithfulness. Like the psalmist who said, "Why, Lord, do you stand far off? Why do you hide yourself in times of trouble?" I too cry out, and I trust that you hear me, God. Grant me the courage to sit with my questions without fear. Teach me that faith does not require me to have all the answers or to feel your presence all the time. Teach me that even when I feel lost, I am never alone. You are with me in the darkness as much as you are in the light. You are with me in the silence as much as in the song. You are with me in the waiting as much as in the breakthrough. I ask you now to shine a light into the shadows of my doubt. Illuminate the hidden places of my heart where fear and loneliness seek to take root. Pour your love into those places, flooding them with peace and assurance. Let me feel your gentle touch in the midst of my uncertainty. Let your spirit whisper truths that calm my restless soul. Father, I am learning that sometimes the question, "Where are you?" is the beginning of a deeper journey into trust. It is in the seeking, the longing, and even the confusion that faith is refined. I do not have to have it all figured out to keep moving forward. I only need to take one step at a time, a knowing that you go before me and prepare the way. Thank you for your patience with my faltering steps. Thank you for not turning away when I stumble or when my voice trembles with doubt. You have promised never to leave me nor forsake me. I cling to that promise today. I hold it close like a lifeline when the waves rise high and the path seems hidden. Lord, as I continue to seek you in the quiet moments after questioning and wrestling with silence, I am beginning to sense a subtle change, a soft whisper beneath the noise of my heart. After the weight of waiting and the ache of uncertainty, there comes a gentle voice, faint yet unmistakable, that speaks peace to my restless soul. It is not a loud declaration or a sudden revelation, but a calm presence that draws me in and invites me to rest. God, I realize now that sometimes your voice is not heard through thunder or grand signs, but through the quiet moments of stillness when I stop striving and simply listen. This gentle voice comforts more deeply than any answer could. It reassures me that I am not alone, that you are near, and that your timing is perfect even when I cannot see it. I am learning to lean into this whisper, to trust it even when it feels fragile against the loud doubts that surround me. In this moment, Father, I am reminded that you meet me not just in my moments of strength, but especially in my moments of vulnerability. When the world demands certainty, you offer presence. When I feel broken, you offer healing. When my mind races with questions, you offer the stillness that speaks louder than words. Help me to cultivate this sensitivity to your gentle voice, that I may hear you more clearly amidst the chaos. Lord, your whisper tells me to be patient, to hold on a little longer, to believe a little deeper. It reminds me that the unfolding of your plan is unfolding precisely as it should, even when the path seems unclear. This quiet assurance steadies my steps. It draws me away from fear and toward faith. It invites me to rest in your grace and trust that what is unseen is being worked out with infinite care. God, help me to remember that this gentle voice is your spirit within me, the counselor who never leaves or forsakes. When I feel overwhelmed or uncertain, may I pause and listen for this inner guide. Teach me to quiet the noise of worry and fear so that your whisper can rise above. Let your spirit be my refuge, my guide, and my comfort. Father, I confess that I have often missed this voice because I was too busy searching for dramatic signs or immediate answers. I chased after certainty, and in doing so, I overlooked the sacred stillness where you speak most clearly. Forgive me for rushing past the quiet moments. Help me now to slow down and embrace the peace that comes from simply being in your presence. Lord, as I open my heart to hear your gentle voice, I am reminded that faith is not always a bold proclamation, but often a quiet surrender. It is the choice to trust you in the small, seemingly insignificant moments. It is the decision to believe that you are working, even when I cannot see the whole picture. It is the willingness to rest in your timing and your love. God, I ask that you strengthen this gentle voice within me so that it becomes louder than my fears and doubts. Let it be a constant reminder of your nearness and your faithfulness. May it guide my thoughts, calm my anxieties, and lead me in the way I should go. Help me to carry this peace with me throughout the day, to share it with others who are also searching for hope in their silence. Father, I thank you for your patience with me as I learn to listen more deeply. Thank you for never giving up on me, even when I struggle to hear your voice. Thank you for the quiet moments where you draw me closer, reminding me that your love is steadfast and your promises sure. As I continue this journey of faith, help me to embrace the gentle voice within as a source of strength and comfort. May it steady my heart and renew my spirit. And when the world grows loud and confusing, may I always find my way back to the stillness where you meet me with peace and love. So I listen now, Lord, with an open heart and a quiet spirit. I choose to trust that your gentle voice will guide me through every uncertainty and every challenge. I am grateful for this sacred whisper that reminds me you are here, always near, and that I am never alone on this path. God, as I continue this journey, help me to open my heart wider to be honest with you, to bring every fear, every question, every tear to your feet. Teach me that it is okay to wrestle with the silence, because in that wrestling, I am growing closer to you. Teach me to listen not just for thunderous answers, but for the soft stirrings of your love. Lord, when the days are long and the nights feel endless, remind me that you are my light in the darkness. Remind me that your presence is not always felt, but is always true. Help me to rest in the assurance that even when I cannot see you, you are walking with me, holding my hand, carrying my burdens. So I bring my unanswered questions to you today, trusting that you will meet me in them. I choose to believe that your silence is not absence, but preparation, that your hiddenness is not rejection, but invitation, that your seeming distance is not neglect, but loving sovereignty. Father, I open my heart to you with all its longing and all its doubts. I choose to keep seeking, to keep hoping, to keep trusting even when the way is unclear. I place my faith in you, the God who is always near, the God who hears every cry, and the God who holds every step of my journey. I do not know where this path will lead, but I know who leads it. I do not understand all that is happening, but I trust in your goodness and your unfailing love. And with that trust, I continue to walk forward, one step at a time, held in your grace and surrounded by your peace. Father, as I listen for your gentle voice and open my heart to your quiet presence, I find myself standing at a new place in this journey, a place where trust begins to take root. Even though I cannot see the path ahead clearly, after wrestling with questions and embracing the stillness where you speak, I realize that trusting you means stepping forward without knowing all the answers. It means placing my hand in yours even when the way is hidden from view. Lord, trust is a fragile seed that requires nurturing. Sometimes it feels like walking in the dark, where every step is uncertain and every shadow threatens to overwhelm. Yet I am learning that faith is not about having perfect vision, but about holding tightly to the one who holds the world. Your hand may be invisible to my eyes, but I choose to feel its strength guiding me. You lead even when I cannot see the way. God, confess that trusting you is not always easy. My heart wants to cling to certainty, to plans I can understand and control. But you are asking me to release those desires and to walk by faith rather than by sight. It is a daily choice to trust your goodness in the unseen, to believe that your timing is perfect even when it feels delayed. Help me to embrace this choice with courage and hope. Father, I remember the stories of those who trusted you without clear direction, the faithful who moved forward on promises could barely grasp. Their footsteps inspire me to keep going, to take one more step even when the path feels uncertain. I want to join them in this act of surrender, knowing that your invisible hand is guiding me toward a future filled with purpose. Lord, help me to recognize your guidance in the quiet moments, in the gentle nudges that lead me away from harm and toward blessing. Teach me to discern your voice above the noise of doubt and fear. When I am tempted to rely on my own understanding, remind me to lean into your wisdom instead. Let my trust be rooted not in what I see, but who you are, the faithful, loving, and sovereign God. God, I also pray for the times when trusting feels impossible, when the weight of uncertainty presses too hard on my spirit. In those moments, be my strength, be my steady hand that holds mine firmly. Remind me that I do not walk this journey alone. Your presence surrounds me, even when I cannot sense it. Your promises are unchanging, even when my circumstances shift. Father, I surrender my fears of the unknown and my need for control. I choose to place my trust fully in you, the one who sees the end from the beginning. Let my heart be anchored in your faithfulness, so that I may walk confidently, even in the shadows. May my trust grow each day, rooted deep in the assurance that your invisible hand is leading me every step of the way. Thank you, Lord, for being the God who guides without being seen, who leads without making noise, and who carries me when my strength fails. I am grateful for the gift of faith that allows me to trust beyond what my eyes can perceive. I open my heart to receive this gift anew, ready to follow wherever you lead, confident that your plans for me are good. As I continue on this journey, help me to live in the freedom of trusting you without conditions or guarantees. Teach me to rest in your sovereignty and to celebrate the mystery of faith. May my life be a testimony to the power of trusting the unseen hand that orchestrates all things for my good and your glory. So here I stand, Father, hand in yours, stepping forward into the unknown with a heart full of hope. I trust that your invisible hand will guide me, protect me, and lead me into the abundant life you have promised. And in that trust, I find peace that surpasses understanding and joy that transcends circumstance. Father, as I walk deeper into this place of trusting your unseen hand, I feel the gentle pull of surrender drawing me away from the desire to control everything around me. After learning to trust in the mystery of your timing and presence, I am confronted with the hard truth that true faith often requires letting go not just of my plans, but of my need to understand every detail. It is a surrender that asks me to release the reins, to stop gripping so tightly, and to rest in your perfect wisdom. Lord, I confess that control has been a false comfort for me. When uncertainty threatens to overwhelm, I reach for the illusion that if I just hold on harder, if I just plan better or push more, I can shape the outcome. But I know now that this striving exhausts my soul and distances me from your peace. Today, I want to place my burdens down. I want to open my hands and release the grip that keeps me bound to anxiety and fear. God, teaching me to let go is not easy. It asks me to walk by faith into the unknown, trusting that your plans are higher than mine, and that your purpose is unfolding even when I cannot see it. Help me to remember that surrender is not weakness but strength, the strength to acknowledge that I am not master of my fate, but a beloved child in your care. Teach me that in letting go, I am not losing control but gaining freedom. Father, I pray that you would soften my heart where it has grown rigid, where I have held tightly to my own understanding. Break that hold gently but firmly, where I have resisted your guidance because it did not align with my desires. Open my eyes to the beauty of your perfect will. Let me embrace the peace that comes from releasing control and trusting you completely. Lord, help me to be patient with myself as I learn this lesson. I will not always get it right, and sometimes fear will still whisper in my ear. But I choose to keep returning to you, to surrender again and again. May your grace cover my imperfections, and your love encourage me to take each step of surrender with courage and hope. God, I know that you work through the surrender of your children. You use our willingness to release control as a pathway for your power to move. When I stop trying to force outcomes, I make space for your miraculous intervention. When I cease to wrestle with the unknown, I open my heart to receive the blessings you have prepared. Father, teach me to find rest in the places where I cannot see. Help me to trust that even when I do not understand the reasons behind what is happening, you are weaving a story far greater than I can imagine. Remind me that your ways are higher than my ways, and your thoughts are beyond my comprehension. Lord, give me the humility to accept that I am not in charge, and the faith to believe that you are. Help me to hold loosely to my own plans and tightly to your promises. Let my heart be lightened by the knowledge that you are sovereign over all things, and that you hold my life in your hands. God, pray for the peace that comes from surrender. Let it flood my mind and soul, replacing worry and tension with calm and confidence. May I walk through this day with the assurance that as I release control, you are orchestrating every detail for my good. Father, thank you for inviting me into this place of rest. Thank you for your patience when I cling too tightly, and for your love that gently draws me back to surrender. I choose today to let go not out of defeat, but out of faith. I choose to trust that you are leading me exactly where I need to be, even if the path is unclear. So I open my hands, Lord, and release all that I cannot carry alone. I lay down my need to understand, my fears about the future, and my desire to control every outcome. In this surrender, I find freedom. In this freedom, I find peace, and in this peace, I find you always near, always faithful, always good. Father, as I learn to let go of control and place my trust fully in you, I find myself faced with unexpected turns and sudden changes, moments that feel like interruptions to my carefully laid plans. These disruptions often bring discomfort and confusion, shaking the foundation I thought was steady. Yet, I am reminded that these interruptions may not be random, but divine opportunities to redirect, refine, and realign my life according to your perfect will. Lord, sometimes I resist these interruptions because they challenge my expectations. when the path I envisioned is blocked, or the door I hoped would open remains closed. I find it hard to accept what feels like rejection or failure. But I recognize now that your ways are not my ways, and what looks like a setback may be a setup for something greater. Help me to embrace these divine detours with open hands and a willing heart. God, you often work through what I perceive as interruptions to bring about new beginnings. When I face obstacles, remind me that you are the God who makes rivers in the desert and roads in the wilderness, even when my journey takes an unexpected turn. You are leading me toward the destiny you have prepared. Teach me to see these moments not as hindrances, but as invitations to trust you deeper. Father, I think of the times in Scripture when your servants experienced sudden changes when doors closed and new doors opened. Their stories inspire me to hold on to faith even in uncertainty. Like the one who was redirected away from familiar paths, I want to follow wherever you lead, knowing that your interruptions are always for my good and your glory. Lord, give me the grace to release my grip on my own plans and to welcome your divine interruptions as signs of your active presence in my life. Help me to find joy in the unknown, peace in the pause, and hope in the delay. Let these moments teach me humility and dependence, shaping me into the person you intend me to be. God, in these times of disruption, I ask for clarity to understand your purpose. When confusion clouds my mind, shine your light to guide me. When fear tries to take hold, fill me with courage. When impatience threatens my peace, grant me patience. May I respond to your interruptions with trust rather than resistance, with faith rather than fear. Father, I surrender the frustration and disappointment that often accompany unexpected changes. I release any bitterness or resentment that lingers in my heart. Instead, I choose to embrace your plan with gratitude, knowing that you are working all things together for my good. Help me to remember that every closed door is preparing me for a new and better opportunity. Lord, I pray that you would use these interruptions to deepen my relationship with you. Let them be moments of reflection and growth, where I learn to listen more intently to your voice and to follow your lead without hesitation. Teach me to trust your timing and to believe that your plans are always worth waiting for. God, thank you for never leaving me to navigate these changes alone. Thank you for being the steady hand that guides me through uncertainty. I am grateful that your interruptions are not obstacles, but invitations to experience your faithfulness in new and unexpected ways. As I move forward, help me to welcome your divine interruptions with open arms and a willing spirit. May I walk confidently into the unknown, knowing that you are with me every step of the way, and in all things, may your will be done, and your name be glorified. Father, as I reflect on the divine interruptions you have placed in my path, I recognize that many of these moments have come wrapped in pain and discomfort. It is difficult to understand why suffering exists, especially when it seems to stall my progress or dim my hope. Yet I am beginning to see that pain is not meaningless. It is a tool you use to shape and mold me into the person you desire me to be. Lord, the seasons of hardship have left marks on my heart and spirit. Some days I carry wounds so deep they feel like they will never heal. But I am learning that through these wounds, you teach me resilience. Through brokenness, you cultivate strength. Through tears, you water the seeds of growth. What once felt like destruction is becoming the foundation for transformation. God, I ask for your help to embrace the refining process that pain brings when the trials press in and my soul feels crushed. Remind me that you are like a skilled craftsman who shapes clay with purpose and precision. Though the pressure is intense, you never abandon the work in progress. You patiently mold me, not to break me, but to make me whole. Father, sometimes I want to avoid pain at all costs, fearing what it will do to me. Yet I see in your word that character and perseverance are born in the fire of testing. Help me to change my perspective so that I do not run from suffering but walk through it with courage, trusting that you are using it to develop virtues within me that no ease could produce. Lord, when I am tempted to see pain as punishment or as a sign of your absence, draw me back to the truth of your love. Your presence in my pain is real and constant. You suffer with me, comfort me, and carry me. The cross is the ultimate proof that you do not turn away from suffering, but entered into it for my salvation and healing. God, teach me to surrender my pain to you instead of allowing it to harden my heart or embitter my spirit. Help me to forgive those who have caused me hurt and to forgive myself for the ways I have faltered. Let your healing flow over the broken places, bringing restoration and peace that surpasses understanding. Father, I pray that through my pain, your light would shine even brighter. Let my struggles become a testimony of your grace and faithfulness. Use my story to encourage others who are walking through their own valleys. May they see in my endurance a reflection of your sustaining power. Lord, I thank you for never wasting my suffering. Every tear has purpose. Every heartbreak carries a seed of hope. Every trial is an opportunity for growth. Help me to lean into this truth each day, knowing that you are working all things together for my good. God, as I continue to walk this path of shaping and refining, grant me patience for the process. Help me to embrace the uncomfortable moments as necessary steps toward the fullness of life you have promised. May I be like gold tested by fire, emerging pure and radiant, ready to fulfill the purpose you have set before me. Father, hold me close in this journey. Carry me when I am too weak to stand. Speak words of encouragement when my spirit falters. Fill me with hope that is unshakable, joy that is unending, and peace that anchors my soul. In the midst of pain, may I always remember that you are my refuge and my strength, a very present help in times of trouble. So I surrender my pain to you now, trusting that you will transform it into something beautiful. I yield to your shaping hand, confident that the trials I face today are preparing me for the victory you have planned. And in this surrender, I find the courage to keep moving forward, step by step, trusting you with every part of my journey. Father, as I continue to trust your shaping hand in my pain, I find myself reflecting on the hidden work that happens beneath the surface, where growth is visible to the eye, but powerful in its unfolding, just as a seed is buried in darkness before it breaks forth into life. so too does my soul go through seasons of quiet transformation that prepare me for the newness you have promised. Lord, it can be hard to embrace times of seeming inactivity or dormancy, when progress is slow and the answers I seek feel distant. My heart grows restless. Yet, I remind myself that you are always at work, even when I cannot see it. Beneath the surface, roots are spreading deep and wide, drawing nourishment from places I cannot reach. You are preparing me for a harvest that will come in your perfect time. God, I am learning that growth does not always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like waiting. Sometimes it feels like stillness. But I choose to believe that this hidden work is essential to the fullness of what is to come. Help me to be patient with this process and to resist the temptation to dig up the seed before it is ready to bloom. Father, in these seasons when I feel buried under circumstances or emotions, remind me that I am not buried under defeat. I am buried under preparation. Just as the seed must endure the weight of the soil to burst into new life, so must I endure these trials to become the person you have created me to be. Teach me to trust the mystery of becoming, knowing that what is unseen now will soon be revealed. Lord, help me to nurture the hidden parts of my heart and spirit. Let your word be the water and your spirit the light that sustain me in this quiet time. May I find comfort in knowing that you have not forgotten me or abandoned me. You are faithfully working in the depths, crafting a future that is far more beautiful than I can imagine. God, I pray that I would not lose hope during these hidden seasons. When it feels like nothing is changing, let me remember that transformation often begins in the dark places where no one is watching. Strengthen my faith to trust that the work you are doing inside me is just as important as what is visible to the world. Father, I ask for eyes to see beyond the surface, to perceive the signs of growth, even when they are subtle. Help me to celebrate every small victory, every quiet step forward, and every moment of endurance. Let my heart be encouraged by the knowledge that you are shaping me into a vessel fit for your purposes. Lord, I release any frustration or impatience that arises when the process feels slow. I choose to embrace the rhythm of your timing, knowing that you are never rushed and your plans unfold with perfect precision. May I learn to dance to the tempo of your spirit, resting in the assurance that you are guiding every moment. God, thank you for the promise that nothing buried in your hands remains dead. All things are becoming. All things are being made new. I trust that you will bring forth life from every place of brokenness and every moment of waiting. May this truth fill me with courage and hope as I continue to journey forward. Father, I surrender to your process of becoming. I lay down my fears of stagnation and my desire for quick results. I open my heart to the transformation you are working within me, confident that what is buried today will blossom tomorrow. And as I wait, I will hold fast to your faithfulness, knowing that you are bringing forth new life in your perfect time. Father, as I dwell on the silent growth beneath the surface, I begin to understand that what feels broken and scattered in my life is actually being woven together into a larger, meaningful whole, like pieces of a shattered vase, carefully collected and placed into a new design. You are taking every fragment of my story, the joys, the losses, the failures, and the victories, and creating something beautiful and strong. Though I see only brokenness now, you see a masterpiece in progress. Lord, my heart has carried the weight of broken dreams and fractured hopes. Sometimes have felt like a collection of fragments, disconnected and incomplete. But you remind me that nothing is wasted in your hands. Every crack, every scar is being used to build a foundation that is firm and enduring. Help me to trust that the shattered pieces of my past are not the end of my story, but the beginning of a new structure designed by you. God, I ask for the eyes to see beyond the chaos and confusion of my circumstances. Teach me to look with faith the pattern you are creating, even when I cannot yet discern it clearly. Help me to find peace in the process of reconstruction, knowing that you are the master builder, skilled and intentional in every detail. May I not rush the work, but allow you to complete it in your perfect timing. Father, I recognize that healing and restoration often involve a process of rebuilding. This rebuilding is not always easy. It requires patience, humility, and surrender. I confess that I have sometimes resisted this work because it demands vulnerability and trust. But I am willing now to lay down my defenses and open myself to your refining. Shape me, mold me, and rebuild me into the vessel you have called me to be. Lord, I pray for strength to embrace this season of reconstruction. When I feel fragile or uncertain, remind me that you are the one holding every piece in place. You will not let anything fall away that is meant to be part of the design. Even when I feel incomplete, you are making me whole. Help me to find hope in this truth and courage to continue the journey. God, I ask you to use my brokenness for your glory. Let my story be a testimony of your grace and redemption. May others who see my life recognize that restoration is possible, that fragments can become a framework for beauty and strength. Use me as a living example of your power to heal and rebuild. Father, I thank you for your patience with me during times when I feel like I am in pieces. Thank you for gathering my scattered heart and weaving it back together with threads of your love. Help me to release shame and fear over what is broken and to embrace the new creation you are making. Lord, as you rebuild, teach me to walk in humility, knowing that it is not by my strength, but by your power that I am made new. Let me lean on you daily, trusting that each step of restoration is guided by your wisdom and grace. May I grow in faith as I watch your handiwork unfold in my life. God, continue to transform every broken part of me into a foundation for the future. Let your light shine through every crack and every healed wound. May my life reflect the beauty of your restoration and the hope of new beginnings. Father, I surrender my fragments to you now. I trust that you are building something lasting and meaningful. I commit to walking forward with patience and faith, knowing that the masterpiece you are creating will stand strong, rooted in your love and grace. So I step into this new chapter with a heart open to your rebuilding. I welcome your hands to continue the work you have started, confident that from every broken piece, you will create a framework that supports the fullness of the life you have promised. Father, as I reflect on the rebuilding and restoration you have been weaving in my life. I find myself longing for the calm and peace that only you can provide. After the seasons of growth beneath the surface and the shaping of broken pieces into a new framework, my soul yearns for the rest that comes from being beside still waters, a place of quiet refreshment where fears dissolve and hope is renewed. Lord, I recognize that in the midst of life's storms and uncertainties, you offer a sanctuary of peace that transcends all understanding. When the noise of the world becomes overwhelming and the demands of life weigh heavy on my shoulders, you invite me to come to you for rest. I want to accept this invitation fully, to pause in your presence and drink deeply from the wellspring of your love and grace. God, I confess that I often chase after peace in the wrong places, in fleeting distractions, in my own efforts to fix things, or in temporary comforts that leave me empty. But you are the true source of lasting peace. You calm the raging seas of my heart and settle the storms within me. Help me to find my refuge in you, to trust that your still waters are always available when I choose to come to you. Father, help me to learn the art of stillness, to quiet my restless thoughts, to silence the doubts that crowd my mind, and to rest in the assurance of your presence. Teach me to be present with you, not rushing ahead or looking back, but simply being in the moment, allowing your peace to flow through every part of my being. Lord, I ask for your Spirit to fill me with tranquility that the world cannot give or take away. Let this peace guard my heart and mind as I face the challenges of each day. When anxiety threatens to steal my joy, or when fear seeks to grip my soul, remind me of the still waters you offer, a place where I can be restored and renewed. God, I am grateful for the promise that you lead me beside these still waters. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies, and you anoint my head with oil, overflowing my cup. I choose to trust in your provision and care, knowing that you are working all things together for my good, even when I cannot see it clearly. Father, as I rest in your peace, help me to carry this calmness into every interaction and circumstance. Let your peace be a testimony to those around me, reflecting your love and grace. May I be a vessel of your tranquility in a world that so often feels chaotic and unsettled. Lord, in this quiet moment, I surrender all the burdens I have carried, the worries, the fears, the weariness. I place them at your feet and receive the gift of your peace. Let it wash over me like a gentle river, renewing my strength and restoring my spirit. God, thank you for being my refuge and my strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble. Thank you for leading me to still waters where my soul can be refreshed and my heart can find rest. May I learn to seek this sacred place daily, to find in you the peace that sustains me as I continue this journey with you. Father, help me to remember that stillness is not weakness, but a powerful act of faith. It is in the quiet moments of trust that I am prepared to face whatever lies ahead. May your peace become my anchor, holding me steady through every storm and guiding me safely home. So I rest now, Lord, beside your still waters, open to receive your healing, your comfort, and your love. I trust that in your presence, I will find the renewal my soul longs for and the strength to continue walking the path you have set before me. Father, Having found rest beside your still waters and tasted the peace only you can give, my heart longs now to see the world through your eyes. As I emerge from the quiet of your presence, I realize how limited my own vision has been, clouded by worries and earthly concerns. Lord, open my eyes to the greater reality you invite me to, one filled with hope, purpose, and divine perspective that transcends what I can comprehend. God, I acknowledge that I have often looked at my circumstances with human eyes, focusing on obstacles, delays, and uncertainties. I have measured success by immediate results and judged situations by what they seem to be. But I am learning that your view is vastly different. You see the full tapestry of time and purpose, the hidden threads that connect every event. Help me to lift my gaze beyond what is visible and trust the vision you have for my life. Lord, grant me the faith to embrace a heavenly perspective that sees beyond the surface when the storms rage and the path ahead looks dark. Remind me that you are sovereign over all things. Help me to understand that what appears to be setbacks are often setups for your greater plans. Teach me to see every challenge as an opportunity to experience your power and grace. Father, I ask you to transform my thinking, renewing my mind to align with your truth. Let me no longer be limited by what I see or understand, but be guided by your wisdom and promises when I am tempted to despair or become anxious. Help me to remember that you hold the future and that your purposes are perfect. God, open my heart to recognize the ways you are working in my life, even when the evidence is not clear. Help me to trust in your timing and to rejoice in the hope of what is yet to come. May I be patient as I wait, knowing that you are preparing me for blessings I cannot yet imagine. Lord, teach me to walk with confidence, seeing not with my eyes, but with the eyes of faith. Help me to discern your hand at work in every situation and to respond with courage and trust. May your perspective shape my choices, my attitude, and my prayers each day. Father, thank you for the promise that you will give me eyes to see and ears to hear what the Spirit is saying. I long to understand your ways and to follow where you lead. Help me to cultivate a vision rooted in hope, anchored in your love, and empowered by your Spirit. As I continue this journey, Lord, let me carry this heavenly perspective with me, transforming how I view my life and the world around me. May your truth illuminate my path and bring clarity where there was confusion. And may I be a beacon of your light to others, reflecting your vision of hope and redemption in all I do. So I open my eyes, Father, and ask you to help me see with the eyes of heaven. Let your vision guide me today and every day, leading me closer to the purpose and peace you have prepared. I trust that with your sight, I will navigate the unknown with confidence, joy, and unwavering faith. Father, as I open my eyes to see with heaven's perspective, my heart is drawn deeper into the truth of your unfailing covenant. This covenant is the foundation upon which I stand, the unshakable promise that no matter the storms I face or the uncertainties ahead, your love remains steadfast and your plans endure. Lord, I thank you that your commitment to me is not based on my perfection, but on your perfect grace. God, it comforts me to know that you have made an everlasting promise to be with me. This covenant binds us together with cords of love that cannot be broken by circumstance or time. I am reminded that you have pledged to never leave me or forsake me, and that your faithfulness reaches from generation to generation. When I am tempted to doubt, this promise becomes my refuge. Lord, help me to hold tightly to this covenant, to lean on its strength when my own falters. Teach me to live in the confidence that your word is true, and that your promises are sure. Even when life feels unpredictable and my path uncertain, I know that you are working all things together for my good, fulfilling every vow you have spoken over me. Father, I pray that this covenant would shape the way I see myself and my future. May I see myself as beloved, chosen, and called by you. Let this truth give me courage to face each day with hope and assurance. When fear creeps in, remind me of your promises. When doubt threatens, remind me of your faithfulness. God, I ask that you would write this covenant deep within my heart so that it becomes my guiding light. Let it anchor my soul amidst trials and challenges, providing stability and peace. Help me to trust that your promises are not empty words, but living realities that sustain me. Lord, as I walk forward in this covenant relationship with you, help me to reflect your faithfulness in all that I do. Let my life be a testament to the power of your love to transform and redeem. May I be faithful in my own commitments, mirroring the steadfastness you show to me each day. Father, thank you for the security that comes from belonging to you through this unbreakable covenant. Thank you for the hope that sustains me and the peace that fills me. I choose today to stand firm in your promises, knowing that they will never fail. So I continue this journey with confidence. Father, trusting that your covenant with me is my strength and my shield. I rest in the assurance that you are with me always, guiding me, protecting me, and loving me beyond measure. And in that truth, I find joy, hope, and unending peace. Father, as I embrace the unshakable covenant you have established with me, I find myself stepping into the realities of life, storms, those moments when the winds howl and the waves threaten to overwhelm. Even with the assurance of your promises, the challenges press in, and my heart can feel fragile beneath the weight. Yet I know that in the midst of every tempest, you are my refuge, my fortress, and my strength. Lord, the storms I face are varied. Some are external struggles with circumstances beyond my control, while others are internal battles with fear, doubt, and pain. In these moments, I feel small and vulnerable. The waves rise high and threaten to pull me under, but I choose to hold on, to cling to you with every ounce of my being, knowing that you are greater than every storm. God, I confess that sometimes the storms shake my faith and unsettle my peace. The roar of uncertainty can drown out the still, small voice of your spirit. Yet I remember that you do not promise a life free of storms, but a presence that carries me through them. You are the calm in the chaos, the anchor that holds firm when everything else is moving. Father, help me to grip your hand tightly when the winds blow fiercely. When fear threatens to consume me, remind me of your power to quiet the seas. When doubt whispers lies into my mind, Fill me with the truth of your faithfulness. Let your strength become my strength, sustaining me when I am weak. Lord, I pray for endurance to persevere through the storms without giving up or losing hope. Teach me to trust not only in the promise of calm, but in the process of weathering the storm itself. Let these trials shape me, deepen my faith, and draw me closer to you. May I emerge on the other side stronger, wiser, and more reliant on your grace. God, I ask that you surround me with your protection in the midst of these trials. Shield me from despair and discouragement. Guard my heart against the attacks of fear and anxiety. Let your peace guard my mind and keep me steady, anchored in the knowledge that you hold every moment in your hands. Father, thank you for being the refuge I can run to when the storms come. Thank you for your steadfast love that never fails, even when the winds rage and the waters rise. I am grateful that I do not face these battles alone. You are with me, always near, always faithful. Lord, as I continue to hold on through the storm, help me to remember that your power is made perfect in my weakness. When I cannot stand, you carry me. When I cannot see the way, you light the path. When I cannot find peace, you fill me with your presence. May your strength be my song and my shelter. God, teach me to surrender control once more in the face of the storm, trusting that you are working all things together for my good. Let me rest in your sovereignty, knowing that you are orchestrating every detail for a purpose beyond what I can see. So I hold on. Father, not by my own strength, but by yours. I cling to your promises and stand firm in your love. Even when the storm rages around me, I choose to believe that you are my safe harbor. I trust that you will bring me through, carrying me to a place of peace and restoration. Father, as the winds begin to settle and the waves withdraw, I feel the aftertaste of the battle still pulsing through my veins. Holding on through the storm has exposed the limits of my own strength and the limitless reach of yours. Yet even now, while the sky is clearing, another sacred work is unfolding, one that happens not in roaring waters, but in the silent pressure of unseen hands. It is the pressing of the olive, the holy crushing that releases hidden oil. Teach me to welcome this deeper work. I admit that when circumstances squeeze me, my instinct is to resist. I dread the breaking, but jars remain hard and dry until the press begins. Only under weight does the fruit release its treasure. If the storm revealed my dependence, the pressing will reveal my anointing. What feels like intense pressure is not punishment, but preparation. Not destruction, but extraction of priceless essence. God, when responsibilities stack like stones and expectations tighten around my chest, let me remember the grove at night where you prayed, sweat becoming drops of blood beneath the olive branches. There, compression birthed redemption. In the same mystery, my present crushing can birth compassion, wisdom, and authority that lectures could never impart. Let gratitude mingle with groaning, trusting that every press is measured by your mercy. Father, protect my heart from bitterness while I am underweight. When relationships bruise, when disappointments cut deeper, prevent me from hardening. Make my spirit supple, willing to yield, ready to pour. Refine motives tangled with pride. Expose fears buried beneath activity. Wash ambitions that compete with your purpose. Press out the lesser so the greater may flow. Where ego resists, apply gentle yet firm pressure until surrender becomes natural worship. Lord, give me stamina in the crushing. The press is never a moment but a process. Days stretch. Nights repeat, and I grow wary of waiting for release. Strengthen my inner being so endurance outlasts the cycle. Whisper hope when darkness claims I have been forgotten at the bottom of the press. Remind me that the longer the olives linger, the purer the oil becomes. Assurance of future usefulness sustains present suffering. God, let the oil produced be offered, not hoarded. May compassion extracted from loss heal wounds of others. Insight squeezed from confusion illuminate someone's night. Perseverance forged in delay encourage weary travelers beside me. I hand you the outcome. Teach me to pour whenever and wherever you desire. Father, thank you that your hand never abandons the vessel mid-process. You rotate, press, pause, then press again with intentional rhythm. You watch the flow. You test the clarity. You smile at the fragrance. This knowledge quiets my questions. I yield because you are gentle with precious things, and I am precious to you. Lord, remind me that oil is not only for lamps but for wounds. What flows from secret pressure brings light to halls I have not yet walked, and soothing to hearts I have not yet met. Keep me mindful that usefulness, not comfort, is the goal of this refining. If the fragrance draws attention, let it point wholly to your faithfulness. Father, your word declares that you anoint my head with fresh oil, and my cup overflows. I hold to that promise in the midst of pressing. Overflow means there will be more than I need, enough to share, enough to bless, enough to leave a trail of hope wherever my feet travel. Let the evidence of this surplus silence every lie that tells me the press will end in emptiness. God, even here teach my lips to praise, shape my sighs into songs, my groans into gratitude, so the oil carries notes of joy no counterfeit can imitate. May midnight worship sweeten the flow, ensuring that what is produced in darkness shines brighter when the dawn arrives. Lord, I lift up all who are being pressed today, the caregiver bearing unseen exhaustion, the dreamer waiting for doors to open, the quiet sufferer grieving in silence. Let them sense a holy companionship in their solitude. Whisper that their crushing will not cancel their calling, but concentrate it. Give them courage to stay beneath the stone until the appointed time of release. I rest in assurance and wait with steady, expectant hope. Father, from the quiet press where precious oil has begun to flow, I feel a subtle warmth touching the horizon of my heart. Night still lingers, yet there is a glow gathering at its edge, a quiet promise that darkness will not last forever. It is the first hint of dawn, and with it comes a joy unlike any stirred by circumstance, a joy born from knowing that you, who kept me through the storm and the crushing, are now calling me into new light. Lord, this joy is not loud or frantic. It rises gently, like colors brushing the sky before the sun appears. It finds its strength not in everything being perfect, but in everything being held together by your faithful hands. Teach me to welcome this early light, to open every window of my soul so its rays can reach places still shadowed by yesterday's sorrow. God, remind me that dawn does not erase the night's memory. It redeems it. The very hues that paint the morning borrow depth from the darkness they break. In the same way, my joy is richer because it carries the wisdom of the crushing, the endurance of the storm, and the hope that whispered in still waters. Let me never fear the night again, for I have seen how faithfully you usher in each dawn. Father, help me to steward this joy well. May it not remain a private glow but expand into praise that spills over onto everyone I meet. Let laughter born from resilience ring truer than laughter born from ease. Let hope expressed in gentle words strengthen the weary like morning sunlight warming a frost-laden field. Lord, when old fears attempt to pull the curtains closed, speak to me of your constancy. The sun has never failed to rise since you commanded it at creation, and your faithfulness toward me is even surer. Anchor me in this truth so joy remains when clouds return. Even hidden behind gray skies, dawn still happens. Even when circumstances veil it, your goodness still ascends. God, teach me to celebrate small evidences of newness and unexpected kindness. A fresh idea, a quiet sense of courage, each a bright petal of dawn unfolding. May gratitude sharpen my sight so I notice what cynicism would ignore. Where cynicism predicts another storm, let grateful joy declare, but morning is already on its way. Father, let this dawn joy energize my obedience. Having tasted your light, I long to walk in it fully. Guide my steps into works prepared for me, fueled not by striving but by delight. When tasks feel heavy, remind me whose gladness strengthens me. Let service become song. Lord, I lift up those still standing in deep night. May the flicker of joy you have kindled in me become a lantern for them. Use my words, my presence, my prayers as gentle heralds of their own approaching dawn. And when their sunrise breaks, let my heart rejoice with them, for light shared is light multiplied. God, thank you for turning oil pressed in darkness into lamp fuel for morning. Thank you for turning sighs into breathing space for praise. Thank you that every dawn foreshadows the greater day, when shadows will flee forever. I carry that promise like a banner in my chest, fluttering with hope at every heartbeat. So I step into this rising light, Father, hands open, spirit awake, eyes fixed on you. Dawn is here, and joy is walking alongside me into the wide, bright day you have prepared. Father, the gentle joy of dawn still lingers on my skin like early sunlight, and as its warmth seeps inward, I sense something stirring, an invitation to step into the very purpose for which you have been preparing me. Every storm endured, every crushing weight, every secret growth beneath the soil has not been random. It has been shaping me for an appointed time. I hear that time whispering now, like a clock striking softly in my spirit, urging me to rise and walk forward with holy confidence. God, help me to understand that this moment is not an accident. Long before I drew breath, you marked out my days, weaving them into the grand tapestry of your redemptive plan. In seasons when I felt sidelined by delay or disqualified by weakness, you were writing hidden chapters of training. Now, as dawn's joy ushers me onto new ground, remind me that no experience was wasted and no tear forgotten. Each has become a thread of readiness, positioning me to stand here for such a time as this. Lord, grant me clarity to recognize the doors you are opening. Some may look ordinary, disguised as daily tasks or quiet conversations, yet they carry eternal weight. Give me discernment to step through them with faith rather than hesitation. Silence the inner critic that insists I am unqualified. Let your spirit testify louder, declaring that you yourself qualify the called. Father, infuse my heart with bold humility, bold to act, humble to depend wholly on you. May I neither shrink back in fear nor surge ahead in pride, but move at the pace of your guidance. Teach me to anchor every yes and every no in prayer, so the steps I take echo your heartbeat, not my ambition. God, as opportunities emerge, guard me from comparison. My appointment is unique. I need not measure it against another's. Help me celebrate the callings of others while remaining steadfast in my lane. Keep my eyes fixed on the assignment you hand me and the people you entrust to my care. Lord, let compassion fuel my purpose. The oil pressed from suffering must now become balm for wounds around me. Show me where to pour. A word of encouragement to the discouraged, a practical help to the burdened, a gentle presence to the lonely. May every act, however small, carry kingdom significance because it is offered in obedience. Father, when obstacles appear, and they will remind me that appointment does not guarantee ease. Giants still stand in promised lands, yet the same God who appointed me equips me. Fill my mouth with truth when doubt taunts. Strengthen my hands when fatigue settles. Surround me with wise companions who stir up courage and speak life. God, root me in gratitude so I never lose sight of the privilege of partnering with you. Let thanksgiving keep my motives pure and my spirit light. Each morning, may I awaken eager to ask, what adventure of grace awaits today? And each night, may I rest knowing the results are in your capable hands. Lord, should this season require hidden work more than public display, help me cherish the hidden. Appointment is not always stage and spotlight. Sometimes it is intercession in the quiet, steady faithfulness in routine, unseen seeds that later bloom. Whatever the shape, let me serve with wholehearted devotion. Father, thank you for trusting me with this sliver of your mission. I surrender my timeline, my expectations, my reputation. All I ask is to fulfill the purpose inscribed on my life, bringing glory to your name and good to those you love. Lead me, strengthen me, and keep me anchored in the joy that rose with the dawn. For I am appointed now and always by you. Father, the sense of divine appointment still hums in my chest, and now I feel the latch of heaven turning. A door that only your hand can craft is moving on silent hinges, opening toward terrain I have never walked. I pause at the threshold, aware that every lesson storm, crushing, dawn, and call has led to this narrowing place where obedience must pass. Teach me to step through with reverence rather than haste, trusting that what awaits was prepared long before the key met the lock. Lord, I admit excitement mingles with trembling. Opportunity can dazzle like morning sun on glass, blinding me to edges and corners. Guard me from leaping at every doorway just because it stands ajar. Let your spirit confirm whether this opening bears your signature or merely echoes my ambition. Give me ears to catch the quiet yes or gentle no that rises from the deep place where your wisdom speaks. God, when the door is truly yours, courage will still be needed. Unknown corridors may stretch beyond, lit only by faith's small lantern. Remind me that the same grace that swung the entrance wide will accompany each footfall. I do not walk into vacancy. I walk into rooms already furnished by providence, relationships arranged, resources hidden in plain sight, strength stored like manna for the day it is required. Father, keep humility buttoned around my heart as I cross the sill. Success and favor can swell the soul if left unchecked. Teach me to remember the press that produced the oil, the valley that carved the river, the night that taught me to value dawn. Let gratitude be the garment I wear so any spotlight redirects to your goodness rather than my skill. Lord, if the opening leads to tables of influence, seat me as a servant first. May every conversation be salted with grace, every decision filtered through love, every plan surrendered to your greater design. When applause arrives, help me convert it into quiet worship. When criticism comes, let me sift it for truth, release the chaff, and keep moving. God, there may be doors that creak open only partially, requiring patient pressure and persistent prayer. Grant me discernment to labor where you invite and to wait where you reserve. Some thresholds demand kneeling before walking, acknowledging territory as holy ground. Show me when to remove my shoes, when to lift my voice, and when to stand still until you give the nod. Father, I bring before you the fears that cluster at the frame. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of inadequacy. I lay them like pebbles at your feet, too light to outweigh your promise. Replace each with confident dependence. I refuse to carry anxiety into new spaces. I choose the lighter yoke of trust. Lord, I pray for those around me whose doors are opening simultaneously. Let competition find no harbor in my heart. Teach us to celebrate one another, to share maps and lanterns, to guard each other's steps. A kingdom opened by love cannot be divided by envy. God, I also acknowledge that some doors close with equal divinity if a handle resists and the wood remains firm. Grant me peace to step back. Protect me from bruising my spirit against gates meant to stay shut. Your no is as kind as your yes. Both shepherd me toward perfect placement. Father, once inside, help me to inhabit the new room fully. May I not stand timid near the doorway, but explore every assignment with curiosity and faith. Inspire creative solutions, fresh language, and bold compassion. Let the atmosphere shift because your presence arrives with your children. Lord, remind me that another door will appear in time. Journey is made of thresholds. What feels like culmination today may prove a corridor tomorrow. Keep me supple, ready to release current roles when you signal, eager to embrace the unfolding story without clinging to previous chapters. God, thank you for trusting me with passage into this season. I step through now, heart steady, eyes bright, palms open to receive and to give. May every echo of my footsteps tell the world that grace opened door. Grace keeps it open, and grace alone will lead me safely through. Father, as daylight fills this space, teach me to mark hours with dependence, morning listening. Noon gratitude. Night release when walls feel vast. Remind me songs bloom in wide rooms. When ceilings press low, remind me prayer lifts them. Lord, set in me a rhythm. Advance. Abide. Adore. Advance where love leads. Abide when you whisper pause. Adore every sign of your faithfulness. With such rhythm, routine turns to worship and trials to doors of hidden grace. God, when I meet doors within doors, keep me open to wonder. Surprise is the artist of joy. Paint tomorrow in colors caution would never choose, and grant courage to live bright. Father, I step through, not alone but with you, ready for echoes or quiet, ready for the story your heart will tell beyond this door. Should shadows fall again, I will recall the latch grace alone can lift and wait still. Father, having stepped through the door you opened, I now stand in a room bright with opportunity. Blessing rests on every surface, and I feel its weight as surely as its wonder. Yet my first prayer in abundance is for anchoring. Let the gifts that surround me never fracture the vessel you refined through storm. Pressing and patient dawn. What you place in my hands must enlarge my heart, not my ego. Lord, teach me to hold blessing without letting it hold me. When resources multiply and invitations expand, fasten humility around my thoughts like a steadying belt. Recall to me the olive press, so gratitude stays, oiling every hinge of influence. Where applause grows loud, tune my ear to whispered needs. Where tables overflow, remind me to add chairs. Where networks extend, show me whose voice still waits in the hallway. God, set boundaries that guard soul and calling. If schedule swells, carve deeper grooves for quiet. If my name travels farther than my footsteps, tether it to character forged in obscurity. Rescue me from momentum that outruns intimacy with you, and from praise that inflates but never nourishes. May each accolade become an altar where glory returns to its rightful owner. Father, prosperity can test motives more than lack. In yesterday's scarcity I clung to daily bread. In today's plenty, teach me to cling harder still, knowing abundance flows from mercy, not merit. Keep alive a pilgrim spirit light on possessions, rich in purpose, quick to obey when you whisper move. Lord, let this blessing become a conduit, not a container. Open my eyes to pockets of drought my overflow can refresh. A colleague burdened by debt, a neighbor starved for time, a stranger starving for dignity. Make generosity instinctive, turning provision into pathways of justice and healing. God, banish the fear that blessing will fade. My stability rests in the giver, not the gift. Should circumstances narrow, your covenant stands unshaken. Whether platform widens or contracts, my worth remains unchanged. Teach me to celebrate without clutching, to plan without presuming, to rejoice without replacing worship with comfort. Father, fortify relationships under new weight. Guard the tender fabric of home from strain. Grow laughter louder than deadlines, conversation deeper than logistics, Sabbath thicker than ambition. Let loved ones feel valued, not for sharing success, but for sharing life. Lord, Weave unity among peers whose harvests ripen alongside mine. Deliver us from rivalry. Let us trade blueprints of integrity, warnings about hidden snares, prayers that keep vision clear. A kingdom advanced by competition limps, but a kingdom advanced by collaboration runs. God, if blessing demands skills I lack, grant a teachable spirit and voices of wise counsel. Protect me from isolation disguised as independence. Community is as your safety net against silent fractures of success. Keep me wrapped in it. Father, I finish this prayer not by closing the door of abundance, but by kneeling on its threshold. Knees low, eyes lifted, hands open. May the blessing that will not break me break open greater measures of love, courage, and mercy for a waiting world. And may every step forward echo quiet gratitude for the one who gave it all. Father, the blessing you have entrusted to me has settled like gentle rain, and as its droplets soak into every corner of my life, I sense you inviting me to something deeper and integrated living, where spirit, mind, and body move together in steady harmony. Having learned to carry abundance without fracture, I long now to walk each day in the full wholeness that your redemption provides. Let nothing remain fragmented within me. Let every part echo the same song of grace. Lord, I begin with the innermost places. Heal the hidden memories that occasionally pulse with old pain. Memories I thought were resolved yet still whisper insecurity. Shine your steady light into those chambers and stitch every lingering tear with cords of truth. Where my self-talk turns harsh, rescript it with kindness drawn from your heart. Teach me to regard myself not through the lens of past wounds or present performance, but through the lens of your unwavering love. God, align my thoughts with my convictions. Too often I profess faith yet entertain fears that undermine it when anxious scenarios loop in my mind. Interrupt them with reminders of your faithfulness. Replace the language of what if with the declaration of even if you are with me. Let my mental meditations become fertile ground for peace to flourish and wisdom to blossom, anchoring actions that reflect heaven's perspective. Father, bring wholeness to my physical rhythms. In seasons of intense activity, help me steward rest as diligently as work, nourishment as attentively as service. Remind me that my body is a living instrument of worship, worthy of care but never of idolization. Grant me energy proportionate to assignment and a pace that honors long obedience. Let strength arise not merely from discipline, but from delight in movement, in fresh air, in the marvel of being alive by your breath. Lord, weave my relationships into this tapestry of wholeness, where past misunderstandings left loose threads. Guide me toward humble mending. Foster conversations that dissolve old resentments and cultivate mutual honor. Surround me with companions who value authenticity over polish, prayer over gossip, encouragement over critique. Make our connections safe harbors where truth and grace coexist. God, unify my outward calling with inward devotion. May public ministry never outgrow private communion. Let what I do flow naturally from who I am becoming in you, so there is no dissonance between platform and prayer closet, between weekday meetings and dawn-lit worship, where applause tries to lure me into divided motives. Seal my heart again with the single desire to please you alone. Father, Keep me attentive to small fractures that threaten unity of soul, moments of hurried distraction, seeds of envy. Subtle cynicism. Train my spirit to notice early and invite your correction quickly, just as a gardener prunes minor shoots to preserve the health of a vine. Help me surrender minor compromises before they breed major decay. Lord, as wholeness grows, let overflow bless others naturally. May my settled presence bring calm to anxious rooms. May my integrated life model hope for those who feel scattered. Use my story to testify that broken pieces truly can be gathered, restored, and repurposed for abundant life. God, thank you that walking in wholeness is not a self-improvement project, but a spirit-led pilgrimage. Your grace initiates, sustains, and perfects. Daily you invite me farther along the path, unveiling new layers of freedom. I accept the invitation with open hands and an expectant heart, trusting that each step will reveal more of your goodness and more of the person you designed me to be. So I rise this morning resolved to walk in that harmony. Thoughts align. Emotions settled, body cared for, relationships nurtured, purpose clarified. May each stride resound with the quiet confidence that I am held together by love stronger than any force that tries to tear me apart. And as I walk, let every footfall echo gratitude for the wholeness found in you. Father, flowing out of the harmony you are weaving within me, I sense another truth rising like underground spring water. Your life in me is not a seasonal stream, but a river that will not fail. Wholeness is only sustainable because its source is endless. My own reservoir's emotion, talent, resolve can empty. Yet the river of your spirit moves beneath drought and heat, offering freshness morning after morning. Today I lean over its banks, cup my hands, and drink again. Lord, remind me that this river began long before I noticed its current. From the moment you breathed life into dust, you set mercy in motion, carving pathways through history and heart. You guided its flow through prophets and psalmists, through a rugged cross and an empty grave, until it reached my wilderness and turned it into orchard. How could I fear running dry when the headwaters are seated on the throne? God, teach me to remain rooted close to this living water. Business lures me toward arid ground. Disappointment tempts me to wander toward stagnant pools. Pull me back whenever I drift, like a tree replanted by streams, leaves whispering your faithfulness in every season. When winds of fatigue rattle my branches, let the hidden moisture of your presence keep me green. Father, may this river reshape my inner landscape continually, erode anxious banks, deposit layers of peace, carve new channels of creativity. Where old thought patterns once damned hope, release fresh torrents of possibility. Where unforgiveness hardened like clay, soften the soil until kindness grows wild along the shore. Lord, help me steward the flow, not hoard it. Rivers are meant to travel, carrying life beyond their origin. Let compassion ride upon my words, refreshing deserts in other souls. Let generosity rush outward, nourishing dreams that have cracked in the sun. Make me a willing tributary, trusting that as water leaves my hands, more always comes. God, When circumstances appear dry, prayers unanswered. Vision delayed, open my spiritual senses to the undercurrent moving beneath. Springs often work in silence. Depth is proven when surface streams fade. Teach me to draw with joy from wells of salvation, singing even when clouds withhold rain, confident the river still runs below. Father, protect the purity of this flow. Guard my heart from toxic attitudes that pollute gratitude, from hurried shortcuts that silt up wonder. Place entry stones of scripture along the banks, clear markers that keep the channel true. And when debris inevitably falls, criticism, sit back. Grief, help me remove it quickly so nothing hinders movement. Lord, I lift those who feel parched today. The caregiver depleted by constant pouring, the student weighed by unseen battles, the leader secretly thirsty in the glare of success. Lead them to the water's edge, and if I may serve as a shaded bend where they rest, let me do so gladly, pointing always to you, never to myself. God, I praise you that this river ends in an ocean of glory. Every act of love, every seed sown in tears, every cup given in your name is carried downstream into eternity, where nothing good is lost. The hope of that horizon keeps me stepping, keeps me trusting, keeps me laughing like children who build boat races. Sure, the current will bear their small craft far. Father, as sunlight lifts over today's responsibilities, I walk with river sounds in my ears, constant, sure, alive. Each decision becomes a stone I skip across the surface, creating ripples that travel farther than I see. Keep my stride light, my spirit hydrated, my vision clear, until even in the hottest hours I can say with confidence, the source is strong, the channel open, the river will not run dry. Lord, let evening find me by the water still, counting blessings like smooth pebbles gathered throughout the day, for every moment of patience granted, for every spark of insight, for every breath drawn without hurry. I will drop a stone of thanks back into the current and watch concentric circles of praise expand beyond my reach. Even if shadows stretch long and challenges linger unresolved, I will rehearse the truth that tomorrow the river will greet me again, unthreatened by midnight, unweakened by doubt, uninterrupted by circumstance. God, deepen my awareness of your flow during ordinary tasks. As I wash dishes, remind me of cleansing grace. As I answer messages, remind me of words fitly spoken like water to the thirsty. As I walk corridors or streets, let me sense living streams beneath pavement, hidden but mighty, promising renewal for cities and nations. Father, one day my earthly journey will finish, and I will follow the river home. Until then, keep me fascinated by its course, obedient to its pull, and faithful to its source. May every beat of my heart sync with the sound of rushing grace, and every sigh become a sail the Spirit fills, carrying me forward in unending flow. With joy I remain beside the waters, trusting the tide. Father, the river of your life continues to move beneath my feet, and now I sense the horizon widening before us. We have traveled through shadows and storms, through pressing and breakthrough, through stillness and steady flow, and each step has revealed another facet of your faithful heart. Today I stand on a gentle rise, able to see farther than before. And what I glimpse is not the end of the path, but the beginning of another expanse. Fields golden with possibility, valleys bright with promise, peaks calling like old friends who know the way. Lord, in this moment I gather every lesson you have sown along the journey. I remember how honesty opened the first gate, how waiting shaped patience, how crushing produced oil, how dawn brought quiet joy, how open doors tested courage, how blessing required humility, how wholeness knit every fragment, how the unending river renewed hope. I tuck these memories close, not as trophies but as tools, ready for whatever tomorrow asks. They whisper that nothing is wasted, that you weave even detours into design. God, keep my spirit sensitive to beginnings that wear ordinary clothes. The map ahead will surely twist, yet your presence remains the truest compass. When unfamiliar turns appear, remind me how you guided through darker woods. When fresh challenges rise, remind me of strength discovered under earlier strain. May confidence never harden into presumption. May caution never shrink into fear. Let each new step echo trust. Father, awaken creativity as bright as morning sky. Inspire words that lift, actions that heal, ideas that open windows in closed rooms. Make generosity my reflex, compassion my cadence, justice my song. Where I once survived, teach me to serve. Where I once endured, teach me to encourage. Let the pace of grace shape my hours, so that rest and fruitfulness entwine like vines climbing the same trellis toward light. Lord, I bless the community that has walked this winding prayer, every listener carrying stories as vivid as my own. Fill them with courage, laughter that loosens weariness, peace that holds steady when winds return. Knit us together across distance, weaving conversations that sparkle like constellations, guiding night travelers. Our shared faith becomes a canopy of hope stretching farther than a single voice could reach. God, thank you for every ear that stayed through the long climb, for every soul that lingered when distractions called, for every quiet agreement breathed in bedrooms, offices, kitchens. Their faith has echoed against mine, creating harmonies I would never have found alone. Dear friend, I invite you to share your part of the story. Write your feelings, petitions, and discoveries below so others may draw from your well as you have sipped from mine. If this journey has lit a small flame inside, carry it forward. Share the video with someone drifting in darkness. Subscribe so we can keep walking together. Return each dawn to breathe new prayers that keep faith alive day after day. Father, before we move, let us breathe in this view. Let the panorama soak into memory. Ridges touched by pink light, dewdrops flashing like scattered diamonds on meadow grass, the low hum of waking insects tuning the anthem of daybreak. Inside this hush you write silent vows over the land, vows of guidance, provision, surprising joy. We answer with quiet yeses deep in the chest. Yeses that will blossom into deeds long after these words fade. Lord, I imagine paths spiraling outward from this ridge, one toward classrooms where questions wait, one toward hospital corridors scented with antiseptic and courage, one toward fields thirsty for both water and justice, one toward boardrooms needing wisdom kinder than profit, one toward kitchens where children laugh between crumbs and homework. You accompany each road, turning ordinary hours into altars. God, Teach us to read the day like scripture, scanning for your commas and ellipses, refusing to treat any encounter as a period. A stranger's smile may be the prologue to healing. A delayed train may become a study of patience. A cloudburst may be the illustration for mercy. Training our sight this way grows gratitude even in unremarkable soil, ensures fatigue yields to wonder. Father, where shadows linger in our valleys, shine courage that outlasts them. Let medical reports meet peace, broken relationships meet forgiveness, financial strain meet manna disguised as community. We do not ask for a life immune to need. We ask for hearts convinced that need is a doorway through which you often walk in. Lord, should nightfall find us weary, point our memories back to this summit morning. Tomorrow's dawn will bring other colors, but the artist remains, mixing hope into every palette. Thank you, listener, for giving space in your busy life to climb this prayer mountain. Your presence turns monologue into fellowship. Leave reflections below so the dialogue widens. Share this journey with someone searching for footholds of faith. Subscribe so future prayers arrive like faithful postcards, reminding us all that the trail continues. We turn now, stepping forward while the day is still young, carrying quiet assurance that rivers will flow, bread will break, and mercy will rise new each morning. Ahead, the valley shimmers with possibility, and behind us, peaks glow with stories already told. A soft dawn light lingers. A soft breeze lifts hope like ripples across water.